The music was pumping, the drinks were flowing and the dance floor was heaving. But for Jarrod Davies, a night out in Hobart soon turned to tragedy.
Jarrod had been drinking here at the Observatory Bar when he was booted out by security. It was 1 a.m. and he was alone on the Hobart waterfront.
The 27-year-old crossed the road and made his way onto the Elizabeth Street pier. It would be 2 more days before police found his body in the River Derwent.
Well, it's been over 3 years now since we've lost our beautiful boy.
Jarrod's father has been searching for answers ever since and remembers the strange phone call he received from his son the night he went missing.
All I could pick up for 3.5 minutes was he was just blabbering, you know, just like la 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 la. I just couldn't make sense.
Robert didn't know it at the time, but his son had just been headbutted and punched in the face by another patron inside the venue. But instead of removing the perpetrator, security evicted Jarrod.
This is where he fell in the water, and it's right in the middle here where they found his phone. So yeah, it's been pretty tough for us.
Jarrod's death is now the subject of a coronial inquest, one that's put a spotlight on the alcohol-fueled partying and violence that sometimes occurs just metres from the water's edge here in Hobart.
But in places like here especially, it's a death trap, there's no doubt about it.
Jarrod was a dive instructor who'd been working in Fiji and had ambitions to travel further afield.
He just picked up a job with the super yachts over in Italy. He was all ready to go, and unfortunately, he didn't get there.
The inquest heard he bought 23 drinks in a little over 2 hours. It's not known how many he drank himself, but bartenders and licensees told the inquest they'd never serve anyone who was intoxicated. But other patrons said they were so drunk they had no memory of even being at the bar that night.
There's no doubt a lot of people going into these clubs are already well over the limit, you know. And it seems to me they only kick you out when you can't stand or can't talk.
Dr. Robert Zhu drowned at the Hobart waterfront 3 months before Jarrod. He'd been drinking whiskies at the Evolve bar before heading with a colleague to Mobius for another drink. A police officer who watched CCTV of his final movements told the inquest the trainee surgeon appeared highly intoxicated. Following the drownings, an extra 15 lifebuoys and almost a dozen safety ladders have been installed here. But much of this working port remains unfenced, and Jarrod's father says security guards are needed to keep people away on busy nights.
The coroner is yet to hand down his findings and recommendations, but they could include tighter rules around the responsible service of alcohol and ensuring that drunk patrons aren't evicted from venues without support outside.
Because I've got no doubt that if something like this isn't done, someone else is going to lose their life and some other poor family is going to be destroyed like our family has been.